I think one of the funniest films I think I've seen in such a long time. It's just nuts. It's great.
Oh, thank
Um,
Wow, I would hear that. You could say that again.
well, there's been two this year that have been incredibly funny. Yours is one. There's another one called Alien Country that came out of
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Salt Lake City. But boy, I mean, I just love your take on this. It's such a tip of the hat um, to those 80s and even 70s films that you know were out. I'm babbling right now because I've got three against one now. But Mike Hermosa, talk to me about putting this together for film. I mean, was this a hair pulling situation?
It definitely was, but it was a huge team effort. We all tackled this equally, and I always wanted to work with Mike, and he pitched me this idea in the middle of the night, and I was sold. And then from there, uh, he found the right person to help him write the script, and it just was 4 years of I think age like presidents, right, Mike? It was a long. It was a great experience, man. We got to make a movie with our friends, and now we're here chatting with you. So,
Wow, and I'm friends with Sean, and he is such a fun guy to work with. Mike, is he a great scene partner?
Sean was awesome. He was awesome all around. We're big Goonies fans, and everything else he's done, obviously, but Goonies was a specific reference for us in our movie, and he was so game to do these really cool nods to the Goonies in his character. He has the asthma inhaler from from Goonies in his scenes. Um, and he was also just great. I mean, the guy knows everything. He's been in the business so long that he'll know exactly what lens we're running. He'll know he was just really in tune with it. He knew what shots were going to make it on camera. In fact, we have one take of him going, "That's going to be in the trailer," and so he was just super fun. He was on day one, so we were all nervous, and he took those nerves away. And he even asked us if he can come back to do the sequel, so we were stoked.
Wow. I
Yeah,
hope there's a sequel.
which is why in the post-credit sequence we have him come back to life, which was his idea.
That's the reason.
Yeah.
boy,
Yeah. And I hope there's a sequel because this is so much fun. Johnny Wickham, talk to me a little bit about the writing process for this. This must have been one of those fun things to write.
Oh, yeah, absolutely incredible. Mike Capes and I have been writing together for almost 20 years.
Hmm.
And mostly like internet stuff, sketch comedy, just making each other laugh, kind of low pressure situations where it's like, yeah, whatever, you can just write stuff for the internet. You get good feedback, and it doesn't really matter if it bombs, whatever. But we had some pretty good success, and we're able to have some fun. So when he asked me to write the Invisible Raptor with him, I was like, oh hell yeah, dude, let's do that. And we got together on Zoom over the course of like 4 weeks and just wrote every day. And the goal was really just to make each other laugh. Really, I mean, we were under a deadline because we were like writing it to send to Hermosa, and so we were like really under the crunch. And every now and then Hermosa would be like, "Where's the script?" And we'd be sending him ideas, and he'd be like, "Oh, that's funny." So we were just really making each other laugh through the whole process because when we finished, there was no promise that we would even make this movie. We didn't have the budget. We didn't have an investor. We were just writing it to do something together and hopefully make it. So we were able to just kind of go nuts and have fun and kind of write the pie in the sky version of the script we wanted to write. And luckily, our EP had basically zero notes on the script, so we got to make the thing we wanted to make.
It really came off. And Mike Hermosa, I guess you must know comedy inside out because it's not easy to direct something like this that's part satire, part action.
yeah, no, it's definitely where to put the camera, and then there's also the idea of this big old empty space that is a raptor. So it was really, we took it in strides, and I leaned a lot on these amazing actors, and just learned a lot from them as well in the process. And it's a good sign when everyone behind the monitor is laughing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mike Capes, talk to me a little bit about working with Caitlin. Did her husband show up to set every so often?
He showed up on a Zoom, or sorry, not Zooms, FaceTimes. He would
Hmm.
always call with our son Billy, which was awesome because we had a lot of night shoots. So she'd always at least get to say goodnight to Billy and talk to John. He came by as well because his sister actually was the conduit to us getting the dinosaur amusement park to shoot in.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so he came by then. And yeah, Caitlin's just she's a dream to work with. She is very smart and just very collaborative. And I think she appreciated that we were very collaborative as well. Because, a lot of the script was the same, but we were able to tweak some stuff
Yeah.
with the characters and really bring them together. So she brought a lot of heart to the set, which was awesome.
And I was so glad that I saw Richard Bailey in this. Such a great actor, and he knows comedy, he knows drama, but he just took this role to where it should have been.
Richard really, the sheriff,
Yeah.
Grimley, yes. Yeah, Richard, God, the sweetest guy on the planet. Gets there early, leaves late. Like he's another dream to work with. Just a professional actor. Came in. I don't think we ever had to do a take two with Richard. Just out of maybe we call it a safety take, but he's just a pro, and he's been in the game forever too. So, again, we lucked out so much with the
But
cast.
I'm trying to remember. I think he was one of the there were a few actors where we like actually wrote it with a specific actor in mind because Hermosa had a relationship with Sandy Martin. And so we were writing this, we wrote The Chicken Farmer for Sandy Martin, hoping that she would do it through Mike Hermosa's connection. But also Richard, I want to say that Hermosa, because you're close with Richard and you had worked with Richard in the past.
Yeah.
I want to say we wrote this role really thinking it would be Richard also through Hermosa's connection. And I think you guys worked on a movie. You guys worked on a movie
Yeah,
or
we
two.
worked on a couple of projects together, and he was so great. Every time you would give him a note, he'd be like, "Thank you for that note." And he was such a sweet. He's a sweet guy. I love him.
What a professional he
Yeah,
is.
Yeah,
yeah.
and it was funny to hear him say butthole for some reason. It just flowed. Something it felt new and foreign to him, but it was very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, his hero shot is.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, I'll start with Mike Hermosa. What do you think audiences are going to take away from watching Invisible Raptor?
Oh man, I hope they just watch him and think to themselves, they had fun making this film because we really did. So if that's all I would expect, hopefully. Um, but yeah, it can go any way. It can go any way.
Mike Capes, what do you think?
I want people to feel like they can laugh again. I feel
Yeah.
like comedy's kind of faded off a bit for a while, and I think it's time for us to get back in the theaters and laugh with strangers and have fun. I just hope groups get together and with whatever snacks and drinks they want and just have a good time. Go on a ride and laugh again. That's what I want.
And Johnny?
The same thing. I hope people go and laugh so hard with groups of people watching this at home and in theaters that they have to go back and watch it a second time, a third time, and then rent it on Apple TV Plus.
And I hope that they quote. I hope that they quote it. That's
I
always.
hope they quoted. I hope that I'm scrolling TikTok mindlessly and I start seeing clips from the movie. That's what I hope. That would be a real win if my For You page just turned into the Invisible Raptor nonstop. That would be great.
Invisible Raptor memes is what
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you Mike Capes, did you go through a lot of the other satirical movies just to see what's been done? There's one called, what was it, Raptor Pastor or something like that?
Oh,
Yeah.
Velocipaster.
Velocipaster.
Velocipaster. Yeah, we actually are friends with the guy who played Velocipaster, Greg. And yeah, some of them you can't. It's hard to find a lot of them, but we knew of Velocipaster. This one came birthed from. I'm friends with the writer of Jurassic World, and he wrote all the new Jurassic Worlds. And he would tell me about the pitches that would go in, and the pitches were making raptors weaponized, guns and Uzis and jumping out of helicopters. I don't think they ever got there in those movies, but we decided, well, let's A to Z that and let's make them invisible. And so yeah, that's where the impetus of this came from, was the fact that I kind of had a little inside scoop on where they wanted to go.
Yeah.
And so we just took it there.
I love the science in the movie. How did you do it? Well, we did what they did.
Exactly.
Our science.
Yeah, they did all the heavy lifting.
I did a lot of scientific research, believe it or not, on this movie. So it should, like, some of it checks out. We painstakingly were like researching as we were writing. No.
Yeah, he's our in-house Raptor scientist. So any science questions, good job.
I enjoy. I'm gonna watch it a third time, just to kind of go have a laugh. But boy, my jaw hurt on a lot of those great scenes. And you make a great. The next thing you guys should do is an Indiana Jones spinoff, because Mike, I can see you dressed like that.
I appreciate that. He's my hero. So
yeah, we were really leaning pretty heavily into Indiana Jones with the character Grant Walker. That was one of the major comps. If you can see the poster behind Capes' head, that's the original kind of like our own poster that we made, and it's very Indiana Jonesy.
Yeah. As a joke, you should put Tom Selleck's picture in there.
Yeah, you know what? We got to get Tom Selleck for the sequel.
Oh yeah, he could play your dad.
Yeah.
Oh, kids, I'll tell you what. Congratulations on this, and we need this. It's such a fun movie. Thank you so much. And opening day is December 6th.
Yep. Yes, it is. You can get it on digital. You can pre-order on Apple TV before that, and then in some limited theaters around the country.
This needs to be seen on a big screen.
I agree.
And if you're interested in Invisible Raptor merch, like this hat here, or the Invisible Raptor action figure, I don't know if you have one handy, Mike.
This is
our Invisible Raptor action figure. Hold it up just a little bit. There you go. There's nothing in it. You can get those on theinvisibleraptor.com.
I gotta see you guys at a comic convention with this stuff. It would be great.
Oh gosh, I hope you do, because that's one of our main goals.
Yeah. You should have added with Kung Fu grip on the.
It actually has retractable claws.
There you go. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and it makes its own dino screams. You just have to make them all yourself.
Where can we get merch? I want a hat.
Theinvisibleraptor.com.
Oh, sorry. Yep. Theinvisibleraptor.com. You can get.
All right, I'll be there. That's my Christmas gifts for everybody.
Oh yeah, great stocking stuffers. The Invisible Raptor action figure.
Kids, thank you so much for the time. It was great, and I hope to see you on the next one.
Thank you so much, Tony. We appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.